Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I share these What's for Dinner videos with you guys every week to hopefully inspire you to cook more at home for your family. We've got just under a week before Christmas, so I wanted to go ahead and wish you all a Merry Christmas. I will have one video going up before then, but as I said, I wanted to go ahead and wish you guys a Merry Christmas. I got some yummy meals coming up for you guys during this video, so make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let me know if you plan on trying any of these recipes. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. It is Friday night and we are going to be making something pretty quick and easy. We're making French dip and Swiss sandwiches. I'm going to start off by cooking some of these French fries in my air fryer. Let's see, this is 430, so I'll do these on 400 for probably about 15 minutes and I'll shake them like halfway through. And then I've got a package of au jus, and it says you need this and 3 cups of cold water. So I went ahead and measured that out, and I'm going to heat that up according to the package directions over here on the stove. And then once it is made and hot, I will throw in some roast beef. I just picked up this Hillshire Farms ultra thin roast beef. I got 2 packages. They're 7 ounces each. I don't think I'm going to heat up both of them right now. I think I will need both for it to be enough food for me and the kids and Andy. But I think one will be enough for just me and the kids. And then when Andy comes home later, there will still be au jus left. And if not, then I will make more because I do have another package. But I'm sure that will be enough because it says 3 cups of water. So surely we won't use all of that. But I will heat up the rest of this when he gets home. So when this is made according to package directions, I will throw this into the au jus to kind of warm it. And then I've got these sub rolls that I picked up at Kroger on markdown. I'm going to cut them, and then we will get a little bit of mayo on there. I'm going to slice this Swiss cheese and get our roast beef on there. And then I'll throw these in the oven for probably like 5 minutes on 350. I've got that coming up to temperature now. So I am going to go ahead and get started. Here is everything. This is what it looks like after 5 minutes in the oven. You just put it in there to get that cheese nice and melty and the bread just a little bit toasted. So this is what it looks like. I know some people don't use Swiss cheese. Some people use like provolone or whatever. The sandwich at Arby's, the French dip and Swiss at Arby's is why we use Swiss cheese, because we really liked it on that. So that's why we started using Swiss on them at home. And the kids are going to try the au jus. And I have some. And then we also have ketchup at the table to dip our french fries in. And I did only end up heating one package of the meat, and we used it all for me and the kids. So I will open up the other one for Andy. Usually I'll buy like a 1 pound package, or I'll get a pound of like roast beef sliced at the deli. But I just did it easy today and used the stuff from like the refrigerated section. But that is going to be dinner for Friday. Okay, it is Saturday night, and tonight for dinner I made chicken noodle soup. I have a recipe video that went up for this at like the beginning of fall, so September, and it's made in the Instant Pot. It's super easy and it's really, really good. So I recommend checking out that video down below because we absolutely love this. This is like 3rd or 4th time making it this year. So I'll have that link down below for you guys. And we like to eat our chicken noodle soup with Cheez-Its. So that's what we've got there. And plenty for Andy and for leftovers tomorrow. On Sunday night, I made our favorite goulash recipe. I've shared this before. I actually have a video on it that's probably like 4 years old. But it's been a while since I made it, so I thought I would share it with y'all. And on this night, I actually halved the recipe, so I'll have the measurements that I used along with the original recipe linked down below. So I started off by cooking up 1 pound of ground beef, and then I like to go in with some of the seasoning that we're going to add later. So I use some seasoned salt, some pepper, some adobo, and some Italian seasoning. And the original recipe doesn't call to season the meat, but I find that it tastes better if you season the meat with some of those seasonings at the beginning. Once the meat was about halfway cooked, I added in 1 small diced onion and some minced garlic, and then I just continued to cook that until the onions were tender and the meat was done. Once the beef was done, I went in with some tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, some water, some beef broth, and then all my seasonings, some Italian seasoning, adobo seasoning, 2 bay leaves, some seasoned salt, and some black pepper. And I just reduced the heat to like a medium low and let that simmer covered for about 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes, I added in 1 cup of uncooked elbow macaroni, and then I covered this again and allowed it to simmer for about 30 minutes. You just want to keep an eye on it because sometimes the noodles might cook a little bit faster. After about 30 minutes, when the noodles were tender, I removed the bay leaves and stirred in some cheddar cheese. And here it is done. This recipe, as I said, makes a lot. Even halved, this is enough for my family, which is 4 servings, 2 adults and 2 kids, and leftovers for the next day for 1 adult and 1 kid. So it's a lot of food. And we just like to serve this topped with some mozzarella cheese. It is Monday, and tonight for dinner we are doing Mississippi chicken. So if you've been on YouTube for any length of time, you have seen Mississippi pot roast and probably Mississippi chicken. I've got probably about 2 pounds of chicken thighs in here. There's 7 of them in there. And I am going to sprinkle them with half of my au jus gravy mix. You could also do brown gravy, and half of my ranch dressing mix. And then I'm going to pile some carrots and potatoes on top. My family goes crazy for the carrots with it. So I have a 16-ounce bag of baby carrots, and I also have some carrots that I had cut up and used in the chicken noodle soup. And so I'm going to put all of those carrots in because my family absolutely loves them. And then I've cut up about 5 potatoes over here into pretty big chunks, and I'm going to put those in there as well. And then I will sprinkle on the rest of the ranch and the rest of the au jus, and then I will cut up 1 stick of butter, and we've got some pepperoncinis. I'm going to use the last of the peppers that are in here and then some of the juice, And then I'm getting a late start to this, so I am going to cook it on high for about 4 hours. Okay, dinner is done. I like to take the potatoes and carrots and everything off the top and put it in a separate bowl, and then that makes it easier to shred up the meat. I do this with the roast and with the chicken, so now everything is nice and shredded and you can get a lot of that like sauce with your chicken. So that's what we've got. I made some perfect white rice to go with this. I will have the recipe for this down below. I do it in the Instant Pot. It takes 5 minutes to cook, natural release for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it's equal parts rice and water, a little splash of olive oil and a little splash of vinegar, and those just help so that the rice isn't super sticky, and it's nice and fluffy. So that's what we've got. I'm not having any rice. I would prefer to eat more potatoes than have rice, so I just have a lot of potatoes in my bowl, chicken, carrots, and then they've got some rice, a little bit of potatoes and carrots. There's the same, and there's plenty for Andy when he gets home later, and for leftovers for tomorrow. It is Tuesday, and tonight for dinner I am making this turkey breast in the air fryer, and I have some box mashed potatoes that I like hardly ever use, so I'm going to use some of those to try to get rid of them, and some green beans. I got this turkey breast for free from the Ibotta little rebate with Walmart, and I thought it had a bone in it. Turns out it doesn't. So the cook times that I looked at for the air fryer were all for bone in. This is boneless. And so we're just going to kind of wing it, because once I realized it was boneless, I'd already taken the netting off of it. And apparently you're supposed to cook it with the netting on it. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to do it at 360 for 25 minutes with the skin side down, and then flip it over and do it for at least another 20 minutes. We'll probably check the temperature and see what it's looking like. I can't remember what turkey needs to be at. I think turkey needs to be at like 165, just like chicken, somewhere around there. So I will double check that, and then that's what I'll cook it till, with the skin side up. I want to make this similar to how we had our turkey for Thanksgiving. Obviously, I'm not deep frying it like my brother did, but I'm going to inject it with some Creole butter. They didn't actually have the Tony's Creole butter at Kroger when I went. They were out, so I'm going to make my own. And the recipe online says just to melt a stick of butter and put in some Creole and some garlic powder, and then use your little injector thing to inject the turkey. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to season it all over with the Creole seasoning. Okay, so I did 25 minutes skin side down, flipped it over, did 20 minutes skin side up, and as you can see, it's right at 160. So I'm going to let this rest for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and make my green beans and my mashed potatoes while this rests. Okay, here is the finished dinner. I forgot I also had a jar of turkey gravy, so I used that as well. And guys, this turkey is amazing. So good. I love cooking stuff in the air fryer, especially meat, chicken, turkey. And because I injected this is just like so like juicy and delicious. And yeah, there's all of this left over there. The skin is crispy. I feel like if I would have left that twine on there, it wouldn't be as crispy as it is. So if you make one of these, if you still got your I bought a turkey hanging around in your freezer, thaw it out, take that twine off of there, cook it in the air fryer. I'll have the instructions to what I did down below. But that is going to be our dinner. It is Wednesday night, and tonight for dinner I am making upside down pizza casserole. This is a recipe in this Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. I think I'm able to link this down below, this recipe. I think I found it online. So I'll have that and this cookbook linked down below. But there's a sticky note in here that says better with pepperonis, and that is talking about this upside down pizza casserole. The sticky note has been in here since the first time I ever made this, probably almost 10 years ago. So we always put pepperonis in it. So if you make this and you don't see pepperonis on the list, it's because they're not supposed to be in there. They call for mushrooms and olives. I've done olives like only on my part before, but the rest of the family doesn't like it, so I won't be doing that. And we don't like mushrooms, so I won't be doing that. So I'm starting off by cooking up some ground beef. I've got it in here in my cast iron. And I do season that with some garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. So I'm just going to get that browned up. And if there's any, like, too much grease, I will drain that off. And then I've got about half a jar of marinara sauce. It says a 15-ounce jar or can of tomato sauce. This is probably about 15 ounces. It says 12. So we'll see if that's enough. It might not be enough. If not, I have another jar in the cabinet, and I'll just pull that down and add some. I've got pepperonis. I will cut these up and add some in there with that. I've got cheddar cheese, and usually I just do mozzarella, but I don't feel like getting out my shredder attachment and shredding up more mozzarella. So we'll use this, but probably also use some cheddar, and then all that will go in here in the bottom of my baking dish, mixed together, and then we'll put these biscuits on top. And then bake it on 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, and then it'll be done. Probably have some salad or some veggies or something with it. But I'm going to go ahead and get my beef brown so I can get it all put together. Okay, here is our dinner. We were actually going to have salads with this, but our lettuce was bad. So Elijah has cucumbers, Lily has a little bit of cucumbers and some tomatoes, and then I have some cucumbers and tomatoes. And that is going to be our dinner for Thursday. It is Thursday night, and tonight we are going off the meal plan and having something easy. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. So we're ending the night on just an easy dinner. I went grocery shopping earlier, and Andy suggested this for dinner, so this is what we're having. He's actually not currently hungry, so we'll make his later. We've just got our hearty tomato progresso soup, and then one sandwich for me and each of the kids, and they requested them to be grilled cheese with ham, so there's ham on each of these. Cheddar cheese, American cheese, and ham. But that is going to be our dinner for Thursday. And that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just want to say again, happy holidays, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!